Okay, today is June the 25th, 2017, and right now at 11:15 p.m. we've got a temperature of 77 degrees in the foothills of Los Angeles. The relative humidity is 47%. That's up from 9.5% at about 2:30 this afternoon. We had 103 degrees as a high temperature today, and currently we've got a 55-degree dew point. The barometer is up at 29.91 inches. And what a different day today. The weather was very different today than it was yesterday. Yesterday, with the skies were full of cumulonimbus clouds, as we had moisture flowing across the southwest and winding into this giant upper level low, which has a transmitter on it. We can see the clockwise rotation, but no moisture inside of this upper level low, which is moving to the northeast. And we can see that that transmitter is completely blockaded this weather system from producing any moisture in that vortex. In the meantime, look at all the outflow from all the high pressure, the descending air. The transmitters that work right in this area are just pushing this weather away. Like I say, yesterday we had relative humidity of 50%. Today we had 9.9% or 9.5%. So we had 50% humidity yesterday, and we had a dew point of about 63, I believe it was, 63 degrees for the dew point. Today we had, I think it was around 47-degree dew point, but 9.5% relative humidity and 105-degree temperatures as this high pressure is installed to block all of this thunderstorm weather, which should be moving in toward that vortex. This entire upper level low is blockaded on the east side, and that prevents any moisture development in almost the entire state. On the Doppler map, we'll see just a tiny amount of rain up here in the very northern part of California. Right here we see a giant thunderstorm, a supercell being blown apart. We'll take a look at that next in the some of these other maps. Here's the rainbow map, and we can see the side blowing out of this giant supercell just south of Arizona. Watch the end of this loop. We can see that side just blowing out, and there is a lot of evaporation and color change. Let's take a look right here. This is the water vapor map for southwest, and we can see all that color change towards the end. If we look at the rainbow map, we can see the side blowing out. That was targeted with microwave right about in this area. Okay, we've got the visible light map. We can see a shock wave right towards the end, right there, shooting out. So this piece of evidence here, this shock wave, and then we have the color change. We have a deep red that fades to a yellow and green towards the end of that loop. And if we look at the Doppler map, we can see very little rain as a result of all that microwave activity in this area of Mexico. Let's go back and look again. You can see the deep red. This was targeted and killed off, and there is very little rain, precipitation in this area. All the precipitation and thunderstorms are over here in Texas. Let's go back to the map again. You can see that right here. It seems that the bigger concern is to prevent the rain anywhere in California. We got to wonder what's going on here. It's just not normal. This is a terrorist act. People doing this need to be identified and held accountable, and probably face a firing squad if I was running the show, because of what's happening here. We've got opportunities. This should be drawing a lot of moisture right into California. We have counterclockwise rotation. And look at this huge void. This is a completely manufactured high pressure zone. And furthermore, they're blowing away these thunderstorms, which should be occurring all through the southwest. And of course, this expanding high pressure dome is pushing all this weather away. Okay, let's look at the bigger picture. This is first of all, the water vapor map for this northeast Pacific is corrupted. So we're looking at the infrared map. We can see Dora. This is tropical storm Dora right here, moving in a sort of a northwest trek right now. It's going to hook up, according to the forecast, it'll hook up and then back down towards the Hawaiian Islands. Got the jet stream out here. Now, yesterday and the day before, we had moisture flow from the area of Texas and Mexico flowing west towards this upper level low, which was down a little bit further right in this area. And so we had moisture flowing towards this low pressure, which is what happens naturally. And that's why we had a lot of thunderheads. We did have about 4 minutes of rain with very large raindrops. Like I said, it was about 4 minutes worth of rain, barely got the ground wet. And the terrorists controlling our weather shut that off. They shut the spigot off by turning up the transmitters over the Southern California area. Very strange weather yesterday. And we can see that happening right here. Okay, let's look at the National Hurricane Center. We have Dora right here with 70-mile-per-hour winds and moving at 14 miles per hour to the west-northwest. And this thing's going to hook northwest and then drop back down. Keep an eye on Dora and see what they do. All right, we're back to the water vapor map. You've seen this. They're superheating and destroying this with a microwave. You've seen that. Let's take a look at the East Pacific water vapor loop. We can see Dora moving in a northwest pattern. Let's put the grid on. So for the next few days, we've got the monsoonal flow. We've got a lot of thunderstorms developing in Mexico, and all that's going to be prevented from moving anywhere near California. As we can see right here, this is being superheated and destroyed right there. And we can see a blast pattern on Dora. These people can destroy this storm at any time. If you guys, ladies and gentlemen, if you've not seen my videos on Hurricane Patricia, which was the second most powerful hurricane of all time in the Northern Hemisphere, please see the videos from October 20th to 24th of, I believe it was 2015, Hurricane Patricia, October 20th, 2015 through the 24th, and you'll see how they kill a Category 5 storm with 215-mile-per-hour winds. Patricia started out right about down here, a little bit further down here, and it came up and it hooked right back towards land, right near just south of Puerto Vallarta, right about here where the tip of the pen is, with 200-mile-per-hour winds, and it just they blew it apart at the last second. So check out those videos from 2015. There's a lot of great hurricane documentation on how these hurricanes are steered with high pressure, how they're killed off. They'll put on a show and run these out towards the islands and blow them apart at the last second. They use a lot of tricks to grab people's attention, and it's a confidence game. They want people to believe that this is all naturally occurring, chaotic weather activity, when in fact it's scripted and prepared weeks in advance. And they know exactly what they're going to do. Okay, next, Let's look at the pressure maps. We have the surface pressure map right here. And we can see a low right here, and we have a closed low, which is a mess right here from all the descending air. That's what all these jaggies are all about. These squiggly lines, these should be flowing just like these isobars, but they're not, because there's a lot of transmitter manipulation. There's a lot of descending air in the form of heated air from these transmitters, which is causing these squiggly lines. So we've got a low right there over Arizona and California on the surface pressure map. We've got high pressure right here, obviously. Here's the 500 millibar. Take a look at what's happening right here. This is why we had a heat wave today. As I say, yesterday we had a flow, monsoonal flow, moving through Mexico and Texas towards California, a lot of humid air. And today is a completely different weather pattern. We had a 9.5% humidity. And look at here, at the 500 millibar level, they've got descending air right on top of this. Now we're back to the surface map over this low pressure area. So they've stacked high pressure on top of the low pressure to prevent the lift. And that is effectively how they manipulate the weather. They're installing high pressure and preventing anything from happening, any precipitation. Now here's the 300 millibar. We see the same features, all these squiggly lines right over the southwest, which is where we're seeing all this activity right here. If we go back to this map here, the western U.S. map, we can see what they're doing. They're clearing this entire area out, bulldozing all this weather away, and while they target these thunderstorms. And they're hitting this one down here too, right there. Okay, so that's the report. We've seen these maps. Here's the Doppler once again. Zoom out, we can see that just a little bit of rain up here in Northern California, where the we've got this upper level low spinning right here. That is drawing some moisture up through Oregon, and so they're getting a little bit of rain up there. Okay, so we'll see what they bring us for tomorrow, and hopefully we can get another update up tomorrow. Okay, that's it.